We named our second son, Harold James, after my mother's father. Grandpa Harry was he was a fine man. He was a man of great character, great integrity, and he was a very quiet man. He came back from the Second World War. He just became a very quiet man, hardworking, took care of his family, worked out in his workshop. I remember going into his workshop in his garage, and he could make anything, he could fix anything. It was like he had magical powers as kids. You know, me and my brothers would go to visit my grandparents, and Grandpa had this place where he could make anything or fix anything. And so if we ever broke anything, you know, my parents would say, well, put that aside, we'll take that on Sunday when we go to Grandpa's house, and he'll help you fix that, you know. And a beautiful thing was, you know, we come with something we'd broken, and the first thing Grandpa would ask was, well, how did this happen, you know? And it was obviously very clear very often that whatever needed to be fixed had been mistreated, sometimes maybe in an extreme way. And that's the nature of having 7 brothers and a lot of sort of things going on. But his first question would be, well, like, how did this happen? You know, and then we'd have to tell him the story, and he'd usually get a giggle out of that, and then he could fix it. I mean, he could fix it in 2 minutes on his own, but that wasn't his way. His way was always to involve us, to have us fix it, with him helping, with him supervising. And so those experiences were great experiences, but they were very educational. And so we named our second son Harold James after my mum's father. Very little is known about Saint Harold. We know that he was martyred as a child in England, and we don't really know that much more. And on one hand, we might say, well, that's a tragedy. And on another hand, we might say, okay, well, that's good, because not every saint has to be a superstar. Most saints are not superstars. Most saints go about their lives, they do their thing, they live with honesty and integrity, and love their family and love their friends, and most saints pass through this world unproclaimed, and it's very, very, very important that we recognize that. Only a tiny, minuscule portion of saints get canonized and end up in books and things like that. Because without that understanding, it can distort how we think about the saints. It can distort what we think a saint is. And so these anonymous saints remind us it's just about doing what God puts in front of you each day. It's about doing those things with great love, with great compassion, with great encouragement for others. It's just about doing what is put in front of you each day. And it's about that, you know. And so the question I ask you in the book and in the journal is, when was the last time you did something with your whole heart? When was the last time you did something with your whole heart? When was the last time you put your whole heart into something? Because that's what the saints teach us. They teach us to put our whole heart into whatever God has put in front of us today.